Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talent Playbook, the HR podcast for the HR leaders and by the HR leaders. We are on episode 6 and thank you for your response so far. Today we have with us the CHRO who leads organization transformation by driving its core, that is culture, and likes to create an environment where employees have a high morale and they can thrive in that. So please welcome the CHRO and Head Human Resources of L&T Metro Rail Hyderabad, Sudipto Mandal. Welcome, Sudipto.
Thank you, Sudeshna.
So straight going into what we are here for is that all around us today, we are seeing a lot of noise, people talking about a lot of trends. But as a human resource leader, as a leader, leading through these times, what do you think 2026 will be all about as far as people function is concerned?
I think, as you rightly said, there are a lot of noise, right? So, and in the era of social media, it doesn't take really much time from noise to become a cacophony rather than making it a symphony, right? So I think that cacophony will continue. So that confusion and uncertainty, I think that's what I feel is going to be even more in 2026. So I always believe that if we are able to, have a very clear thought by ourselves, and then second, translating that thoughts into, meaningful way for the employees, for the organization, and linking it to the purpose. I think that's what it is going to make a difference, because then people will really understand, and then they will not get confused and pulled in every direction by this confusion and uncertainty to a certain extent. But as I'm telling you, that the whole environment is like that, and there is a reason for that environment to be like that, because of geopolitical tensions, because of uncertainty in the way the business happens, because the way the social media and the different technologies is coming up. Many people may not even know what's right, what's not. Many people don't know what they don't know. And because of these things, obviously, their way of thinking also gets distorted, distracted. So the idea is to be cool, be calm, and you can only able to do that to convince organization if, as I said, if you are very clear about your own thought process, and you are very clear in terms of how the actions or way forward is going to be for the organization, and how it is linked with the purpose, then only I think the clarity will emerge.
And change, and we are saying change always was a constant with business, but now the pace and the way the changes are happening are too many. So as a leader leading through this, how are you proposing to architect your organization? Like, apart from stating obviously the why, which you said very clearly, the why or the broader purpose, how do you think of just leading these people through this change?
When you talk about moving forward, progress, improvement, then you have to realize what's your strengths are.
Yes.
So build on your strengths, build on your past glories and legacy. I think that is going to be much more beneficial, useful, rather than getting distracted by what's coming up. So you need to have this fine balance, that how do you build on your strengths, but at the same time also be aware of the changes coming up, and then make that right balance. That is important.
Very well said, Sudipto. Very well said. In all this, we are seeing that how the distraction is so much, as we notice. Do you think the way people are learning is changing? Are you kind of changing the way people are learning, or how are you addressing that in your organization?
Yeah, of course. I think as I'm saying that this change is not an organizational change; it's a social change that's happening and
Okay.
across the world, right?
Yes.
And we need to acknowledge that, and we need to also gear up, adapt, realign ourselves towards that change. So, for example, digitalization of learning, that's going to be the new way forward. The attention span for people is coming down, right? Their way of the medium of learning is also changing. So we need to have those hybrid approach, saying that how we continue to get the attention, how people are able to internalize the learning and translate it back into the contribution. Those things are important. Rather, considering our legacy, quality is important rather than quantity, right? So those aspects are important. As HR leader, as L&D leader, or as business leader, I think these things are extremely important to ensure that our effort that we are putting it in the learning versus the output we are getting it, both in long term and short term. How are you going to measure and see the effectiveness is very, very important by way of these hybrid models.
In terms of now let us know a little bit of Sudipto himself. So one must-have skill for leaders today.
Ability to inspire.
One skill you're betting on for your organization.
If you talk about skill, I would say coaching is a skill.
Okay.
Because,
Mm-hmm.
It really takes a lot for an individual to let go from that habit of directing and telling people to, coaching a person to develop in a day-to-day way, because that's much more difficult, because it takes more time. It takes, you need more patience, and it also not your patience, but it's the patience of the other individual as well. But eventually, if you are able to do it rightly, then it will help the individual. It will develop capability down the line for the organization. It will not be dependent only on top management's thoughts. So I think that's an important aspect for my organization I'd really bet on. And I think coaching as a culture, I already started here, but it has to go a long way.
Your toughest belief you feel to unlearn?
I think letting it go as an organization wise is the most difficult one, because that I think is more we grow in the career, that becomes difficult, right? Because we think with our experiences that we know all, but we tend to probably forget that there are enough to learn.
Your thought on the biggest time waster?
I need to explain this. Many times organizations take a lot of initiatives and a lot of activities. And I think without being very clear how are those initiatives will link up, how will you be able to connect the dot, and how are you going to benefit out of that? So I think in an organization, if you are very clear in terms of what you want to do and spend enough time in terms of what, how, why, then after that it becomes very easy in terms of setting it through and executing that, rather than going all over.
Again, your point on quality over quantity, right? Yeah, that way, and do more with less. I mean, yeah, get it right that way. If culture had a smell, what would it be?
Oh, it's a very nice question, I would say. I would say that it's a kind of intoxicating smell for positivity.
Intoxicating but positive. Like that. So how would you like to round up today with your one advice to your fellow HR leaders?
Probably in that way, I would say that please understand the context and then you think and act. That would be one advice.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed this process.
Yeah, absolutely. I think very relevant question and very interesting questions of I think which is thought provoking. I think that's what I'm enjoying.
I personally enjoyed this conversation a lot because you got back things which I do not hear through the noise anymore. But what we heard today was, get your purpose right. And for that, what is there in the DNA, play on your strengths and teach people or learn the way which will help you the most. And the organization should kind of, customize, as you said, the context is very important. And let's make it very positive and intoxicating as well. So thank you, Sudipto, for that.
That was a difficult question, I would say. I mean, very thought-provoking. Right?
So thank you for this, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.